All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
What's up, everybody? Big Marley 3 from SHIPIT Nation here to break down the Week 17 NFL Afternoon Slate for you guys. Before we get into that, I want to mention that our friends over at Drafters are back in action with Playoff Best Ball. They have a $3 contest and a $20 contest available to draft in right now. And that big $20 contest is a $250,000 prize pool with $50,000 going to first place. If you sign up with promo code SHIPIT, they will match your first deposit up to $100. And we will be doing a couple live drafts in the next 2 weeks or so. So I hope to see a few of you in there. All right, let's get into this 3-game afternoon slate. The first game is the Seahawks as 3.5-point home favorites over the Steelers. And we have a 42-point total in this one. I'm fine stacking up either of these teams or just using a piece or two from each side, but this is a game that I have some interest in. Mason Rudolph had 20 DraftKings points last week, and he is only 5K, so if I need to pay down, then I'm fine going with him. If that is the case, then I'm looking to stack him with at least one, if not both, of Deontay Johnson or George Pickens. Pickens will probably be the higher owned of the two, though, after breaking the slate last week with 38.5 DraftKings points. And then I'm also fine tossing in Pat Freiermuth into those Rudolph stacks as well, and he should go a little bit overlooked after putting up 0 last week. And really, those are the only 3 pass catchers that I have any interest in rostering on the Steelers side. Aside from them, it is just the running backs. I prefer Jaylen Warren at $5,500, but if I need the extra $500, then I'm fine moving down to Najee Harris at 5K. And then I'm cool pairing the Steelers DST with either of those running backs. So those are all the Steelers plays that I will have on my player pool this week. On the Steelers side, Geno Smith will be back again. And I do prefer the Geno side if I am stacking up this game. If I am using Geno, then I want him stacked with probably 2 of his wide receivers. DK Metcalf would be my favorite of the 3 if I can afford him. But Tyler Lockett is $1,400 cheaper, and he had 11 targets last week. And then JSN is one of my favorite punts on the slate, with or without Geno. I think $4,800 is a solid price, and he's been getting more and more involved in the offense. And then Kenneth Walker is questionable. But if he does end up playing, then he'll probably be one of my favorite running back plays on the slate. And I'm fine using him with or without Geno. If he does not play, then that is going to move Zach Charbonnet to closer to a core play at $4,600. And I would expect him to get most, if not all, the running back work on the team. And then I don't see me paying up for the Seahawks DST. So that's probably it for this game. The next game is the Bengals at the Chiefs. The Chiefs are 7.5-point favorites, and they have the highest team total at 26. I expect the Chiefs to be the chalk at basically every position on this slate, so that would be the reason to get away from them if you're looking for one. But Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback on the slate. He is $7,500 this week, and if I am using him, then I am locking in one or both of Rashee Rice at wide receiver and Travis Kelce at tight end. I expect that to be a popular 3-man stack, but it's the best 3-man stack on this board. And then we are waiting on the running back news in this one, with Isaiah Pacheco needing to pass concussion protocols. If he plays, then he will probably end up being one of my favorite running back plays on the board. If he sits, then that is going to move Clyde Edwards-Helaire into closer to a lock button play for me at $5,300, and I would like him with or without Mahomes. And that's probably it. But if I am looking to pay down for one of these 3K type plays just to fit Mahomes and Kelsey into my roster, then I'm fine with Richie James Jr. or McCole Hardman. They're both 3K minimum, and Hardman was just activated to the 53-man active roster today. So those are the offensive plays I'm cool with. And then the Chiefs DST is very in play as well. And I mean, I definitely like them because I don't care for much on the Bengals side. Jamar Chase is questionable, but that's the news I am waiting for to roster these Bengals guys. If he does play, then I'm fine using Jake Browning at quarterback, and I would stack him up with Chase. If Chase ends up sitting, then I think the only Bengals player that I would even have any interest in rostering would be T. Higgins. I do like Higgins with or without Chase on the field, though, and he has 50 DraftKings points the last 2 weeks with Browning at quarterback. So it's really Higgins or pass for me. I guess you could go to Joe Mixon if you want to, but I would rather pay for the running backs priced around him instead. And I might even prefer going down to Chase Brown and a losing game script at low ownership over Joe Mixon. So those are the guys I am looking at on the Bengals side. And then the last game is the one that I have the least interest in. The Broncos are 3.5-point home favorites, and the Chargers have the lowest team total on the slate at 17. We have Easton Stick starting again for the Chargers at quarterback, but Keenan Allen and Josh Palmer are both out this week. So I'm not going to be using any Stick on this slate, and the only Chargers that I plan on making my player pool are going to be Austin Eckler at $6,700. And this is the cheapest he has been in years. He doesn't really look like the same guy he was in the past couple of years, but $6,700 should get a lot of work on the ground and should also be one of the top pass catchers in this week's game as well. So I like Eckler running back. And then Gerald Everett at tight end should be the lead pass catcher in a great matchup. And he has had 8 targets in each of the last 3 games. I don't really have much more interest in the Broncos side either, with Jarrett Stidham at quarterback and Cortland Sutton being out this week. So that really just leads me to Javonte Williams at running back and then Jerry Jeudy at wide receiver, but he is questionable this week with an illness. And I'm also fine punting with Marvin Mims Jr. at $3,500, especially if Jeudy sits and Mims plays. But Mims does have a Q tag as well, so we will have to keep an eye on that. Other than those guys, it's just the defenses from this game. I'm fine with the Broncos or the Chargers, but I do expect the Broncos to be much more popular. So maybe the Chargers are a good pivot, and we can stack up an Eckler with the Chargers defense instead. But that's about it for me on this slate. My full player pool is posted over at SHIPITNation.com. All sports are included for one low price. You guys can play more and pay less. We also have the best Discord in the community. So go check us out if you haven't yet. I don't think you guys will be disappointed. I will be back next week, but if you guys can hit that like and subscribe button for us, it really helps out. Good luck on this afternoon game slate. I hope everybody enjoys the new year. Thanks for listening. Go ship something.